Welcome to Jarring Everything. I'm Sam Payon, and we're filming right here in my Sonoma production kitchen. With the help of my friend Roy, we've warmed up this industrial space with flowers from my farmer friends, and of course, the most beautiful produce Sonoma has to offer. My goal with this series is simple: to show approachable ways to think about ingredients differently. In a time where so much feels uncertain, learning how to create your own shelf-stable foods is more than a kitchen skill. It's a powerful, hopeful act. You'll notice what I call my general-ish percentages. Fermentation works anywhere from 2 to 5% salinity, but I still use a gram scale to keep it simple and approachable. Together, we will ferment, pickle, and preserve what's in season, and explore how these traditions can nourish us in new ways. This is my kitchen, my community, and my home. Welcome in. Hi everyone, welcome to Jarring Everything, our hyper-seasonal outlook on preservation. I'm Sam Payon, and each week we explore a new ingredient and the many ways it can be preserved or transformed. Today we're working with dairy, milk and cream churned into cheese, cultured spreads, and even butter. Simple ingredients, endless possibilities. The pot is ready, the milk is warming, and first on our project list today is ricotta. All you need is milk, lemon or vinegar, a strainer, cheesecloth, and salt. In just a few minutes, curds separate from whey, leaving you with fresh ricotta. Step 1 is heating the milk and salt over medium heat, so I'm gonna add a little pinch of salt. Over medium heat, making sure not to scorch that milk. While we're waiting for the milk to come up to 185 degrees or steaming with tiny bubbles, this will take about 5 to 10 minutes. We have sanitized our jar and lined our cheesecloth about 4 times with a moist cheesecloth. That kind of preps the cheesecloth for straining. Once the milk is heated, I am going to reduce the temperature to low and pour in our homemade white wine vinegar. I think that will be nice. I'm gonna slowly agitate the mixture for about 2 minutes, and you'll start to notice the curds separating from the whey. After that, I'll remove from the heat and let it sit for about 20 minutes. The word ricotta means recooked in Italian because traditionally it was made from leftover whey of other cheese making. Nothing wasted, just transformed into another delicious product. Now we'll ladle the ricotta into our lined strainer. When was the last time you made cheese? It is so simple and rewarding to know that you can make your own cheese. This will take a couple of steps. The consistency of the final product will depend on the amount of time that's being drained. For creamy ricotta, 5 minutes is fine, but 20 minutes for a slightly drier ricotta. It keeps for about 3 to 5 days in the fridge, and from here you could use it in lasagna, crostini, or cheesecake, or salt it and press into a basket mold to make ricotta salata. Coming up, an even simpler procedure. We're making our own cultured cream. This is as simple as mixing cream with a little buttermilk and letting the natural cultures do their work. In 2 to 3 days or so, you've created something like sour cream or creme fraiche. We start with a clean, sanitized jar. This is such a foolproof method. The way this recipe was taught to me was, quote, a splash of buttermilk and cream and set it aside. Literally, that's all the recipe is. Here, that will be. Did you see all that really fatty cream and a little bit of buttermilk? That's all that recipe is. I'm gonna cover this up, and this gets set aside for about 3 to 4 days. Culturing cream not only thickens it, it also lowers the pH, which helps preserve it. That's why cultured dairy like sour cream, kefir, and yogurt lasts longer than fresh cream or milk. Kept sealed and cold, it'll last for up to 3 months, adding a dollop to tacos, nachos, or baked potatoes, and whisked into dips, sauces, or baked goods for extra richness. Next, we will start with fermented parsnips for our blue cheese dip using the creme fraiche that we just made. One of my favorite things to make is a blue cheese dip with fermented parsnip. Here, I've already fermented parsnips just in a simple salt brine. We'll add some of the cultured cream that we just made, or actually I made this 3 days ago. And then we'll crumble in some local blue cheese. What do you think? Should I add all of this? Yeah. Just take my fork and kind of crumble it up before I put it inside this dip. Help start it off. And give this a nice stir. We'll test this to see if it needs a little bit of salt, but I do know it needs a lot of cracked pepper. So let's get that in there first. I love blue cheese dip with a lot of black pepper. The bacteria from the cheese, the cream, and the parsnip makes this funky, rich, bright dip a triple whammy probiotic goodie. It's great on all the traditional things, like served as a dip for vegetables or wings, on burgers, or wedge salads. This is ready for the refrigerator, where it will last, believe it or not, because we have fermented our cream for about 3 months. It's time to grab my chilled cream from the fridge and set up the mixer because we're finishing today with homemade butter. The first step is pouring our cream into our mixer. I also wrapped everything in plastic wrap because, as you'll see, this can become a little messy. The plastic is on and it's time to start mixing. After a couple minutes, you'll start to see the cream start to thicken a bit and become whipped cream. After another 5 minutes or so, it's a firm, deeper color, even thicker cream that's pretty stable. To prepare our straining station, we place a strainer on top of a bowl. We want to catch all that buttermilk and use it in our next biscuits or pancakes recipe. Churning butter is one of the oldest ways humans preserved milk. Separating fat from liquid reduced spoilage and gave people concentrated, long-lasting energy source. After about 5 to 10 minutes longer, we will strain the butter fat from the buttermilk. After the butter comes together, we'll strain and place the butter into the bowl where we can rinse in cold water. Washing to remove the remaining buttermilk will help the butter last longer. And stored in the fridge, it'll last about 2 weeks. With just cream in a mixer, you can churn sweet cream in butter in minutes. From here, it's all about flavoring. Herbs, spices, citrus, or just flaky sea salt. We could add chili and lime for grilled corn, add maple for a swipe on cornbread, herbs for fish, garlic and thyme for pork chops, or shallots and red wine for steak. But honestly, one of my favorite ways to enjoy house-made sweet cream butter is on a fresh baguette with some flaky sea salt. Dairy shows us how simple ingredients can be transformed into preserved, flavorful staples. We made ricotta, we made a cultured cream, a fermented parsnip blue cheese dip, and then fresh butter. Scan this QR code for more on Golden State Pickle Works. Thanks for joining me on Jarring Everything. I'll see you next time when we take another seasonal ingredient and discover what it can become.